Hey guys, so I'm actually on tonight. Greg's going to listen in, but so we're going to talk about the F word and actually F words and how they apply to your business. So the first word we're going to talk about is failure. So failure is there's a lot of what ifs with failure. What if I don't succeed? What if people don't sign up with me? What if nobody likes me? What if? And so, really looking at failure, it is an opportunity to learn and to grow. And so, when you think of it that way, think of it in your business. When you felt like you failed in your business, did you stop or did you keep moving forward? And so, you heard the saying about Thomas Edison that when they were talking to him about his invention of the light bulb, and they said, "You had 1,000 failures." And he said, "No, I had 1,000 ways that I found it didn't work." And he didn't focus on the failure. And so I'm going to tell you a story about my failure and kind of what that turned into. And so in high school, I was a track athlete and I was good at running, and I was the 800 runner for our team. And so I had gone to state my senior year. So it's the last meet of the season. I'm at the state meet and I am one of the top runners in state. So I'm, looking at that I should be placing pretty high. And I had the worst meet that I'd had in my whole career. Absolutely flopped, absolutely ran the worst race, worst experience. And so, most people would be, okay, I'm done. I'm not running again. I'm not going to put myself through that. I'm not going to have it happen. And so, went to college and got a track scholarship and found out that my best event running was the 400. And so I had a very successful college career running the 400. But what that did for me, not just that I was able to run, but it paid for part of my college. And so my failure in high school turned into my success at college and being able to earn a couple degrees and go on and be a successful track coach and teacher. And so I turned that failure around. The second word we're going to talk about is fear. So you've heard the saying, fear is false evidence appearing real. We expect the worst. We're looking at all the negatives. We have, we're focusing on what's going to not happen, right? And so fear is really that little devil sitting on your shoulder, telling you, talking to you. There are some fears that are real. Like if a bear is chasing you, run, right? But if there's things that we build up in our minds to be fearful, and so we let our mind take control of it. And so you need to switch the channel, turn the channel, and move away from fear. And so how do you overcome it? Do it afraid. Joyce Myers has a great book that's a really good read that's called Do It Afraid. And she walks through how to change your mindset, how to build your confidence, and to work through fear. And so I had a fear of public speaking. I was absolutely terrified to public speak. And I had, of course, going to college and I was earning a teaching degree. I had to take a public speaking class. And I was petrified through the whole class. Every time I had to stand up and give a speech, I was petrified. But I was motivated by grades. And so the instructor said, if you get up and do the final speech and you do it without any note cards, you'll get an automatic A. Doesn't matter what your grade is. If you stand up and do it, you'll get an automatic A. And the way the professor graded, it was really possible to go from an A to a D or a C with one assignment. And so I'm like, I am not going to lose my A. I'm going to get up there and I'm going to do it without my note cards. And a couple things I need to tell you about me is that I grew up in a family that did not swear. And so I knew very few swear words. In fact, true story, Greg would say, that sucks. And I would tell him he had to stop swearing in front of my parents. So I am up in front of the class, I'm giving my speech, and I get to, like, all of a sudden I draw this complete blank and I freeze and I swear in front of the class as loud as I can and say, I forgot where I'm at. And now I was petrified. What do I do? Do I sit down? Do I walk out of the class? Do I keep going? I surely have failed this now. And all of a sudden, the rest of the speech comes back in my head, and I just start saying it. And I finish the speech. I go sit down. And of course, as soon as I swear, everybody in the room starts fidgeting. And so not only was I standing there not saying anything, but everybody's fidgeting. The teacher's writing things on the sheet. And so I've I've convinced myself now that I have failed this class and I'm going to have to take the class that I hate over again. I'm going to have to do this public speaking one more time. And so anyway, I sit down. The teacher at the end of the hour hands us all of our graded sheets, and he writes across the top of mine, A, excellent. And I'm sure it was because I was scared to death up there. And he, anyway, and then I finished it. So next story about public speaking is, because I was so bad at it and because I was so scared of it, I had an opportunity to apply for a grant to take a Dale Carnegie course. And at the time, it was about $1,500. That was in the early 90s. And I thought, you know what? I'm in a huge school district. They're only going to invite 2 teachers or they're going to only accept 2 teachers into this program. If I don't get it, it's not a big deal. I might as well apply for it. And I ended up getting it. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go take it. And I'm telling you what, I thought I was scared, but I watched other people stand in front of the class and literally shake. They would cry, they would have meltdowns. And I thought, okay, I'm not as fearful of public speaking as I thought, but I worked through that. I did it anyway. Even though I was scared, I did it anyway. The next F word is faith. And so faith is trusting and having confidence in something or someone. And so think about this. When you walk, you put one foot in front of the other, and you don't think about falling on your face, right? You trust that your feet are going to do what they're supposed to do. Your body's going to do what it's supposed to do and hold you up. When you go to get a drink of water, you turn on the faucet, you grab your water and you drink it. You don't think about, oh my gosh, did they filter the water today? Should I drink the water? Who's handling that? You have faith that they've done what they're supposed to do. When you turn your faucet on, it's going to be cold water that you can drink and not get sick from, right? So that's faith. So faith in our business is called, we say, trust the process. We know that people have gone before us that have figured out what works, and they have shared with us the IPAs, income producing activities, of what works. And so we trust that if we follow those income producing activities and do them consistently, that our business is going to grow. We have faith that they've done it. They're sharing it with us. We're going to move forward. And then the last 2 F's are follow up and follow through. And so, follow up. I have told this story over and over about myself, and that is that with this business, it took me 5 months before I said yes. And I'm sure that some of you have had that same experience. When you're following up with your customers, when you're following up with your prospects, you're following up with customers because they deserve good customer experience. We're not there to sign them up and then walk away and let them figure it out on their own. We're there to give them the best experience possible. They've invested and are trusting in us. They're trusting in our company, trusting in our products. And so we follow up with them and give them a good customer experience. With our prospects, we're following up because we want to give them the opportunity. It's not our job to get them involved. It's our job to share the opportunity with them and let them decide, make the decision. But we want to follow up so that we're there when they're ready and they've made that decision to start, that we're there ready with them and to get them started. And then follow through with what you say you're going to do. If you say, I am going to be building this business, I'm going to be consistent, then be consistent. Whatever that looks like for you. If it's a half hour a day, be consistent working every day a half hour. If it's 3 hours, be consistent working 3 hours, but follow through. Don't quit on yourself and don't quit on your team. We hear fortune's in the follow-up, but fortune is also in the follow-through. We know that following up, we're going to get those people involved, but we also know that following through is so important for our business to grow, being accountable. So wrapping it up, and I'm going to tell you something else. Greg and I have a thing that every time I give us a training, 8 to 12 minutes. So, and when I was teaching in school, everybody knows that I'm really a visual learner. And so I taught graphic design. And so my lessons were somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes. And so anytime I do a training, I'm typically between 8 and 12 minutes. So here we go, wrapping it up. So don't be afraid of failure, because that's opportunity to grow. Face your fear and do it afraid. Have faith and trust the process and plug into other believers. And then the last thing, follow up and follow through. Don't quit on yourself. That's what I have for you.
Oh my goodness. Well, I like all of those F words. I like the explanation behind them. And I can relate to a lot of that. And I can tell you that being chased by a bear is real fear. I've been there, done that. But I also know that when you face your fears, that's when breakthrough comes. When you find the faith that you need to overcome the fears of and the fear of failure and failing. I mean, fear of failure is a big fear too. But when you overcome the failures, because you're all going to have them, you just got to learn through them. When you go through those valleys, that's where the most growth happens. So learn through the failure, overcome the fear by just doing it, just like she said. And then the faith, oh my goodness, you've got to have faith in yourself. You've got to have that belief in yourself, and you've got to have the it's all, again, I mean, gosh, so many times we train about mindset, but that's half the battle. If you can get out of your own way, you can do so many things. Like, you are the one that puts limits on you. Nobody else does. You are the one that stands in your way of greatness. Nobody else does. And I mean, we've heard it over and over again. We've got the same company. We've got the same products. We've got the same compensation plan. The only difference is you. There's no reason why, the only reason that one person is an executive and you're not there yet is just because we didn't quit, and we keep doing the things in spite of the crap. So I thought that training was awesome. Anybody else, Stacy or Greg, y'all got anything you want to add?
I'm just going to say I've never heard so many F-bombs dropped in one training. Jan, that was a good training. It was awesome. I love it.
Oh, I see Christy got on too. That was good. Christy, you got anything? I didn't see you earlier. You must have snuck in on me.
Oh, I've been here. You just didn't see me. I didn't have my camera on. I've been busy, but no, that was an awesome training. Short, sweet, to the point. I loved everything that Jan said. And kind of to go along with what Melissa said, I don't know how many of you guys saw the post today. I stole it from Stacy, but it said the top leaders in Singular, they had jobs, they have kids, they're busy, like busy schedules. You guys, everybody's the same. Like she said, we have the same business, same product, same comp plan, all of the kind of the same stuff. It's summertime for all of us, right? And so it's just what you do about it. So I absolutely loved all of that, Jan. Good training.
All right. Well, everybody's going to get off early tonight. This is fantastic. I will tell you, if you make your business a priority, it will pay you like it's a priority. So turn off the TV, work it when I started this out, I had to fit it into my schedule, but I did it every single day. I never missed a day working. So you can do it. You can do it in your spare time. You can do it part-time. You can do it full-time, but it will never work if you just do it sometimes. It will never work. So keep that in mind. Do something for your business every single day. Make it a priority. And I'm going to declare Ephesians 3:20 over all of you. God is going to do exceedingly and abundantly more than we can think or ask. Because we honor him, his blessings are going to chase us down and overtake us. You are in the right place at the right time. And I declare a boldness to rise up in each one of you. God is going to open supernatural doors. People are going to seek you out, and you will rise in the ranks because we give him the honor and glory. Love you guys. Have a great night.
Love you. Bye.